Sometimes in life we pray with all our heart, we dream with all our hope, and we wait with eyes full of expectation. But instead of answers, we get silence. Instead of movement, we feel stuck. And in those moments, it's easy to think we've been forgotten. It's easy to feel like maybe our prayers weren't heard, or worse, weren't accepted. But what if the delay wasn't a rejection? What if the waiting wasn't punishment, but preparation? When Allah delays something, it's never without wisdom. He sees what we cannot see. He knows what we're not yet ready to carry. And in His mercy, He withholds, not to hurt us, but to shape us, to grow our faith, to deepen our trust, to make sure that when the blessing finally comes, we are not only grateful, we are prepared. Sometimes the thing we're praying for is beautiful, but we're not yet ready for it. Or maybe the timing isn't right, and if we received it too soon, it would slip right through our fingers. This speech is not just about waiting, it's about believing that in the silence, something sacred is happening. It's about knowing that when Allah delays, He doesn't do it out of neglect, He does it out of love. Because what's being prepared for you is greater than anything you imagined. And when it finally comes, you'll look back and thank Him, not just for the blessing, but for the delay that made it even more meaningful. Stay with me till the end, and let this message remind your heart that your waiting is not wasted. Allah is not late. He is working, shaping, arranging, and when the time is right, what He gives you will be more than worth the wait. When something we desperately want doesn't arrive on our timeline, our first reaction is often frustration or sadness. We wonder why Allah isn't answering our prayers. But the truth is, delays are not denials. A delay is often Allah's way of redirecting us to something far better, far safer, and far more meaningful than what we thought we needed. It's like when a door closes just when you're about to walk through it. In that moment it may hurt, but later you realize that door was leading you somewhere you were never meant to go. That closed door, that delay, was actually protection. Sometimes we're asking for something we believe is perfect for us. We've planned it all out in our minds. But Allah, who sees the beginning and the end, knows that what we're chasing might take us away from peace or lead us into hardship we're not prepared for. So instead of giving us what we want right away, He pauses everything. And in that pause, He redirects our steps. He opens a different path, one that may take longer, but leads to something greater, something that will benefit our soul and not just our desires. Think of the delay as a detour designed by divine hands. If your car is headed toward a broken bridge, wouldn't you want a sign that stops you and shows you another road? That's what Allah does when He delays. He's not ignoring you, He's guiding you. Sometimes that guidance looks like silence, sometimes it looks like closed doors, but it's always filled with mercy, always filled with purpose. You just have to trust that you're being led, even when it feels like you're standing still. The problem is we often measure life by time, but Allah measures it by readiness. We look at our age, our goals, our timeline, and we panic when things don't happen. But Allah looks at your heart. He sees whether you're prepared for the blessing you're asking for, and if you're not, He lovingly delays it, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to make sure you can carry the blessing with gratitude and strength when it finally arrives. So the next time you feel like your life is on pause, remember, the delay is not the end of your story. It's just the part where Allah is lovingly redirecting you. And if you keep walking with trust, you'll see that what's waiting for you is far greater than what you were rushing toward. Patience is one of the most powerful qualities a person can develop, but it often grows in silence, in stillness, in seasons of delay. When Allah makes you wait, He is not ignoring your pain or forgetting your prayers. He is building something inside of you. He is making your heart stronger, your faith deeper, and your soul more connected to Him. The waiting season is a training ground. It's where your character is refined. It's where your relationship with Allah is tested and strengthened. We live in a world that moves fast. We want instant answers, quick results, and overnight change. But the most meaningful blessings are never rushed. Just like a seed takes time underground before it blossoms, your soul needs time to grow in silence before it's ready for what Allah has prepared for you. And sometimes that growth can only happen through patience. It's in the waiting that you learn how to let go of control and trust that Allah's plan is better than yours. When you are forced to wait, your heart starts having real conversations with God. Not just requests, but surrender. Not just hope, but connection. You begin to realize that the wait is not about the thing you asked for. It's about becoming the person who's ready to receive it. You become more grateful, you become more humble, you become more aware that what truly matters is not just the blessing, but the bond you build with Allah along the way. And when the blessing finally comes, it tastes different. It tastes sweeter because you had to wait for it. It means more because it cost you time, patience, and trust. And through it all, you didn't just gain what you asked for, you gained strength, wisdom, and faith. You came out of the delay not empty, but full. Full of gratitude, full of purpose, full of a deeper connection to your Creator. So never underestimate the power of waiting. Never think that patience is weakness. It's actually one of the greatest signs of faith. Because when you choose to wait with trust, you're not just waiting on something, you're waiting with someone. And that someone is Allah, who never forgets, never fails, and never delays without a reason, full of love. Sometimes we think silence means absence. When our prayers feel unanswered and life feels stuck, we begin to wonder if Allah is even listening. But silence from Allah is never silence without meaning. It's often the space where transformation happens, where hearts are purified, and where our inner strength begins to rise. Silence isn't a rejection, it's an invitation. It's a call to draw closer, to reflect deeper, and to trust more. Because even when it feels like nothing is happening, Allah is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Think of the quiet moments as sacred. That silence is where your trust in Allah is truly tested. It's easy to believe when everything is going well, but what about when the doors stay closed? What about when the answers don't come right away? That's when your faith becomes real. That's when belief stops being words and becomes something you feel in your bones. In the quiet, Allah is building you. He's preparing your soul to carry what you asked for, and sometimes that preparation can only happen in stillness. There's a reason the stars shine only in the dark. There's a reason a baby grows in silence inside the womb. Everything meaningful, everything sacred is nurtured in hidden places. Your delayed answer, your quiet struggle, your unanswered prayer. They're not signs that you've been abandoned. They are signs that something is growing inside you, slowly, quietly, beautifully. And when the time is right, it will bloom in ways you never expected. It's in these silent seasons that you learn the beauty of surrender. You stop wrestling for control, start resting in trust. You realize you don't need to have all the answers because you know the one who does. You may not understand his silence now, but one day you'll look back and realize it was never silence, it was love. A kind of love that protects you from rushing into things not meant for you and pushes you towards something far better. So, if you're in a quiet season, don't lose heart. Allah hasn't forgotten you. He's just holding you in a space where your soul can grow, where your patience can deepen, and where your faith can shine brightest. The silence won't last forever, but the strength it builds will. Keep walking, keep trusting. The quiet is not empty, it's full of purpose. There are moments in life when it feels like everything is falling apart. Plans collapse, relationships break, and opportunities vanish. It's natural in those moments to feel discouraged, even abandoned. But what we often don't realize is that when things fall apart, it's sometimes Allah's way of building something better. The destruction you're witnessing might actually be divine construction in disguise. Sometimes Allah removes things from your life not to punish you, but to protect you from what you cannot see. What you thought was a loss was really a rescue. We don't always understand why certain prayers are delayed or denied, but every delay holds reason and every reason holds wisdom. You may be asking for something you think is best, but only Allah knows what truly fits your journey. He sees the bigger picture, the long road ahead, and He protects you from things that would break you later. And so, the delay becomes a blessing, the closed door becomes mercy, and the path you never planned becomes the one that saves you. We must remind ourselves that not every struggle is a punishment and not every delay is a rejection. Sometimes it's simply preparation. Allah knows when your heart is ready. He knows when the time is right, and until that moment, He withholds, not out of anger, but out of care, because giving too soon might damage you, and giving too late might discourage you. So he gives at the perfect moment, even if it doesn't match your timeline. This is where your trust is tested, not when life is easy, but when it's hard. When everything feels delayed and nothing makes sense, do you still trust that Allah knows best? That's the kind of faith that grows during delays. That's the kind of strength that transforms your heart. It turns you from a person who only believes when they receive into someone who believes even when they're made to wait. And when the blessing finally comes, when the delay ends and the door opens, you'll see why it took time. You'll understand that the wait wasn't wasted, that every moment of pain had a purpose, that Allah was not holding you back, He was lifting you higher, preparing you not just to receive the blessing, but to carry it with wisdom, with humility, and with grace. Sometimes Allah delays something you want because He's more focused on who you're becoming than what you're receiving. We often chase results, jobs, success, relationships, but Allah is shaping our character through the waiting. He's teaching us how to be patient, how to be grateful without seeing, how to stay hopeful even when everything says give up. And in that process, your soul becomes stronger, your heart more grounded, and your faith more unshakable. The delay becomes the training ground for the version of you that is ready for what's coming. We live in a world that moves fast. We want answers instantly, we want success immediately, and we measure progress by how fast we get there. But Allah doesn't work on our schedule, He works on what's best for us. And sometimes what's best isn't speed, it's depth. He slows us down so we can go deeper, deeper in faith, deeper in purpose, deeper in understanding. The delay is not a denial, it's a reminder that some things are so valuable they can't be rushed. You're in the middle of a delay, it's easy to compare your life to others. You see others moving forward while you feel stuck. But Allah writes every story differently. Your path is yours for a reason. The timing of your success, your peace, your blessings, they're written perfectly just for you. Don't let someone else's journey make you doubt your own. Allah hasn't forgotten you. He's just writing a story that takes time to unfold because it's too meaningful to be rushed. The waiting season is also a healing season. Sometimes Allah delays what you want to give you time to heal from what you've been through. You may not even realize the emotional weight you've been carrying, the wounds you never addressed, the exhaustion you tried to ignore, but Allah knows. And instead of giving you what you ask for immediately, He gives you what you need most: rest, recovery, and renewal, so that when the blessing comes, you'll be ready not just to enjoy it, but to keep it. So don't lose heart in the waiting. Don't doubt your worth just because your timeline looks different. Allah is not delaying to punish you, He's delaying to prepare you. What's ahead is greater than what you're waiting for. And when it comes, you'll look back and realize the delay wasn't a waste, it was a gift. A divine pause that turned you into the person who could finally handle the beauty of what's next. Sometimes the greatest gift Allah gives us is not the thing we're asking for, but the strength to keep going without it for a while. In that gap between prayer and answer, something powerful happens inside us. We start turning inward, searching deeper, reflecting more honestly, and relying on Allah with a kind of closeness we may never have felt before. This delay becomes a sacred space, not of silence, but of divine presence. Because even if the answer hasn't come yet, Allah is already there with you, guiding your heart through every moment of waiting. It's in this space that our relationship with Allah matures. In times of ease, we may thank Him, but in times of delay, we learn to trust Him. And trust is a higher form of faith. It says, even when I don't understand, I still believe. It's this kind of belief that turns pain into power and waiting into worship. You begin to talk to Him more. You cry to Him without shame. You walk through your days holding on to His promises even when the world around you offers none. This waiting builds a special kind of strength, silent, calm, but unbreakable. A strength that doesn't depend on how things look, but on how deep your faith runs. You begin to realize that delays aren't just about timing, they're about transformation. And slowly your heart changes. You're no longer chasing blessings just for comfort. You're seeking connection. You're not only asking for results, you're asking for closeness to the one who holds your future. And that shift changes everything. Allah's delay is not neglect, it's not absence, it's not rejection, it's mercy dressed in mystery. It's protection wrapped in patience, is preparation disguised as silence. And when the day finally comes, when the door opens, the path clears, and your heart is finally at peace, you'll know deep down it wasn't just about what you were waiting for. It was about who you became along the way, stronger, wiser, softer, and more grounded in your faith than ever before. So hold on a little longer, trust a little deeper, pray a little harder. Allah hasn't forgotten you, and He never will. What you think is a delay might be His perfect setup for something far greater than you imagined. And when it arrives, not only will you receive the blessing, you'll be ready to carry it with faith, with gratitude, and with the strength of someone who truly understands what it means to trust in Allah's perfect plan. In life, we often feel like we're falling behind, like our prayers are unheard and our efforts are unseen. But the truth is, when Allah delays, He never forgets. He's preparing, protecting, and perfecting something greater than we can imagine. The delay isn't a sign of rejection, it's a sign of divine love. He is working behind the scenes, aligning the right moments, healing our hearts, and building us into people who are ready to carry the blessings we've asked for. If you're in a season of waiting right now, don't lose faith. Don't let doubt take over. Instead, draw closer to Allah. Trust that His timing is not only better, it's perfect. Every delay has a purpose, and every purpose has a reward. Sometimes what looks like silence is really a beautiful process unfolding in ways your eyes can't yet see. So stay patient, stay grounded, stay faithful. One day you'll look back and realize that the waiting wasn't wasted. It was sacred. It changed you, grew you, and brought you closer to the one who never fails. And when the blessing finally arrives, it will make perfect sense why it had to take the time it did. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it touched your heart, share it with someone who might need the reminder. And remember, Allah never delays without a reason. Keep trusting, keep believing, and never stop walking toward Him. Until next time, take care and stay blessed.